Hi, I'm Katie Thompson. I will be walking us through this tutorial on using DataThief for digitizing meteorological charts at Hubbard Brook. We're going to be using RR.0354 as our example chart. The first thing we're going to do is open our image, one of the precipitation charts. To begin, we look at our reference points. We have 3 reference points, 0, 1, and 2. Highlight them this way so they're easier to see. We can align our reference points along the chart. Then we can zoom in to make them more precise. Here I'm going to show you how to jump from one reference point to the other. So rather than having to always scroll down to where your reference points are, scroll along a zoomed in chart, you can click on the point and it will bring you to that location. Now we'll go to reference 2. Another useful thing to be able to do is hold down your mouse button, like left click, and then you can use the arrows from your keyboard to move the chart. To move the reference point. Make it more precise. This can sometimes be more precise than clicking and dragging with just your mouse. Now we need to look at the chart dimensions. So we need the length and the height in centimeters. We get that from the chart type. This chart is 5-4046. By opening our table of the chart types, we can find 5-4046. We can find a length of 292 centimeters and a height of 152 centimeters. Plug that in. 152 for the height, 292 for the length. Next, we can go in our trace and we can see our start and end points and put them along the line that we want DataThief to trace. Now I want to show you something about zooming in and out. You can see right now we're at 25% for our view, and that you can no longer zoom out anymore. It's gone transparent. With zooming in, you can go to 50% and 100%. You cannot go past 100%. It doesn't show this. This doesn't turn transparent. You can touch it. But if you click, it will crash. So let me just show you that. DataThief says a fatal error occurred. It tried to get to 200% and it couldn't. So you say OK, and it will crash. Now we can pull that right back up. Go into your DataThief. We have to open our file again. Now everything has stayed where it was. You've still got your reference points and everything. You just had to open the image file again. And we can go back and continue what we were going to do with our start and end points by making sure that these are precise. So now I want to talk about this start point. Unlike the indicator point or the reference point, this has a tail. Hopefully you can see it as I'm moving the mouse around. This tail tells DataThief which way to follow the trace. So after this indicator that the chart was put on, we put our start point, that the pen was put on to record precipitation. We then use this indicator to show that it's going this way. Now we can go and check the precision of our endpoint. That right before the indicator the chart was taken off. Now the last thing we need is to indicate the color, and that's indicated with this right here. Make it flash, you touch the color. Tells DataThief what color line to look for. You can also see it in this box. So as I move, you can see that that box will change colors. Now that it's along the line, we can zoom in to our 100% and place our color so that it's nice and deep purple. Now we can go, currently we're in the Trace tab, and we can go to the Settings tab to check our color even further. When you're checking your color, you want to look at the tolerance. Right now we're at a tolerance of 3. And by clicking Show, we can see what that means that DataThief is seeing. So DataThief is seeing this line. If you increase the tolerance, DataThief will be able to see more colors. To an 8 or a 9, you can't see anything because you're seeing too much. At a 1, you're seeing a very small amount. Usually 3 is a good indicator for DataThief. Lastly, we're going to check what our output points will be when it traces. So we're tracing this line so that we can get X and Y coordinates along it for our hourly precipitation rate. So we can go into the Settings tab still. We can look at the output distance of the points. We want them every ½ centimeter. So for half of every 292. 292 is the length of our primary axes. So we want ½ centimeter. We'll do 0.5 on the primary axes. Now we can go in and we can trace this line. So you're going to go Action, Trace. This alert is very common. And so when you press OK, it'll show you how far DataThief was able to trace with a lime green line that will show up on top of our purple line, and it'll also indicate where there was trouble and it couldn't get to the end. So we can see that the trouble occurred right here. To fix this, we're going to use hints. And you get hints by going Settings, Show Dump, and then this will give us these hint points. These hint points are a circle with a line extending out of them, similar to what our start does. And this tells DataThief when you put the circle in the problem area to look forward this way. This line indicates which way we want DataThief to continue. So I'm going to zoom in, and because our problem's near the end, I'm going to jump to it by clicking on the end. Roll up a little bit to find DataThief. You can also get rid of hints by putting them back in the dump. So this dump box gives us hints and can get rid of hints if you don't need it. So we're going to put a hint in some of the spots that I see could be trouble. I'm going to put in 3 hints, all facing the direction of the end. Zoom out, move my dump box, and try tracing it again. Now we didn't have any alerts this time. The green line has gone all the way to the end. We're all set. We can save our DataThief file. This will save the image, the reference points, the start and end points, any hints we put on, and the color indicator. That way, if we need to look back at this chart again, we can just pull it up as a DataThief file rather than going through all of these steps. Next, we're going to export our X and Y data points. You can see these data points by clicking on this box right here. So we've gone from showing us the traced line showing us all the data points that make that line. You can see it's kind of hard to just jump from one to the other, but they are every ½ centimeter along the primary axes. Now we can go File, Export Data. Going to save it with an _A, which I didn't explain before. The reason why we're doing the _A is because some charts require multiple traces, which require multiple text files, multiple DataThief files. So just to stay consistent, even though this only needs one trace, we're going to do an _A. Thank you to the team at DataThief, and thank you very much for watching.